So, I watched the apology from Monoxide. It wasn't an apology from Twisted. It was from Monoxide. Now, everybody who's been following my channel knows my stance on Twisted leaving Psychopathic and not being a part of the march. I've covered it a couple years back whenever it happened. I covered it. I gave my thoughts at the time. And I could the way I can summarize it though was like, okay, I summarized it from the point of view of, from a business perspective, not from a juggalo perspective. For the majority of it though. I went back and I watched, some of the stuff that I said about it, and I went around and I actually kind of watched a few responses from others. Specifically, somebody from a guy that I respect greatly too, a DC Fago guy, by the way. What up, bro? Woo woo. And after watching, Monoxide's apology, me personally though, I have to, personally agree with DC. It felt like a genuine apology though. It really did. And to kind of quote, Monoxide on the way he. I guess you can say the way he worded it though was like, hindsight's 2020. We felt like, y'all felt like they should have been, we should have been there for y'all, and we weren't when we felt like we were needed and stuff like that. And I already know, what a lot of this is going to come from. I've been seeing some pretty like, okay, that's a start. Okay, and I've been also seeing a lot of comments, where it's like, well, I didn't get an I'm sorry. Matter of fact, I feel like that's what a lot of people are expecting is an I'm sorry. But, people have their own way of apologizing, Some people aren't good at it though. But to me personally though, I think it felt like it was genuine. It was like, hey, I apologize. Sometimes whenever I apologize for some shit though, I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry. Dude, I apologize. I was a dick, or yada yada yada. I don't want to speak for everybody. I'm just going to speak for myself. Me personally though, this divide has never affected me. It's never affected a loyalty. It's never made me choose a side. Matter of fact, I've never really looked at it, from the majority perspective, if you will. And there's plenty of people out there that'll say, I can't go back to Twisted because of what they did, because they were bad to the Juggalos and so on and so forth. I've heard a lot of people say, oh yeah, I still support Twisted, and I'm behind them and so on, and the whole 9 yards. Me personally though, I've always been, the person just to avoid the drama. To me the drama never mattered. And to a lot of juggalos out there, will call me ignorant. A lot of newer juggalos in a lot of ways, because I notice a lot of newer juggalos are so loyal and have a lot of tunnel vision too, because I see, a lot of newer juggalos, if you want to call them that, with such tunnel vision, but at the same time with such loyalty. Because yeah, Twisted is a part of this juggalo culture, just like Project Born was whenever they were the first signed artist. Sure, they may not be as involved, but at the same time, we don't forget. And I think that's a lot of that's a lot of what everybody now is looking at as like, yeah, we may forgive, but we ain't gonna forget. So from a personal standpoint though, like I've said, to me, Monoxide's apology is Monoxide's apology. If he means it, then he means it. But mind you, I want to remind everybody, this wasn't a Twisted apology. It was just Monoxide. Madrox hasn't said anything about it though, but Monoxide, is the one, who goes on live streams a lot, via Facebook, and I forget what else. I think it's only Facebook that he does his live streams on. And we'll speak about shit. Monoxide ain't afraid to talk. He ain't afraid to talk about shit, but at the same time, he's also smart enough to not, he's also smart enough to not talk about, what he shouldn't talk about. Some of us, aren't that smart either. Some of us just do it. But to be I don't know how to, I really don't know how else to say it though, but me personally, it's never affected my loyalty towards it. I still support Twisted. I still support ICP, you know? And in terms of the march, you know, from looking at it from that perspective, I do feel like, Twisted should have been there. I don't feel like, you know, I don't feel like anybody else. I think it should have just strictly should have been everybody deeply involved, in the juggalo culture, and I do mean deeply involved. And what I mean by deeply involved is psychopathic at the forefront, Twisted at the forefront as well. But like I said, psychopathic only as the majority. Excuse me. And they were not there anymore. They weren't there. Okay, so what about Juggalo Day? People forget that M&E was just starting. They were starting a business. And from a business perspective, yeah, it would have made sense to be paid. But at the same time, from a Juggalo perspective, it's like, oh man, money ain't everything. And right, it's true. But, as controversial as this may sound, when you look at the timing of everything, and you look at the way ICP handled the publicity of it, though, this is one thing I'm going to agree with the DC Fago with, is that, ICP, was more worried about the gang label rather. I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to misplace words. So if I fuck it up, please forgive me. DC Fago guy talked about, it's talking about, them needing to be there because, they're, enriching the Juggalo culture. But, you'll be paid. He goes, you want to do a paid show, but not a free show. Okay. That's their prerogative at that point, though. I mean, people will sit there and try to, push a neutral to pick a side, though, simply because, like, oh, you don't agree or disagree. I mean, disagreements is what make things, honestly, just what makes things interesting to me. I don't expect a Psychopathic Riders reunion anytime soon. I don't expect a Dark Lotus reunion anytime soon, or a new Lotus album, or, any collaborations. Because that's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy on Juggalos. It really is. I would like to see it. Matter of fact, I would love to see the Juggalo show original set that they were going to do, which was the original Lotus Pod from beginning to end. That would have been awesome. But, we're not going to. We're really not. Do I feel it's a step in the right direction on Twisted's side? Yeah, I think so. Do I think that, what Paul said, when it came to stuff like that, though, saying, about shit getting in the way whenever we felt like they were needed? Sure, yeah, I mean, I don't feel that's the whole thing, but I don't know, maybe, I'm a little bit more objective because of drama. But like I said, this is just me talking. I think it's cool that Monoxide, stepped out and said, hey, I apologize, for not being there. That was cool. It really was. Does it affect me? Personally, it really don't affect me, but I do think it's really cool. From a Juggalo perspective, from a loyalty perspective, can't say that it necessarily does. And I already know for saying that, for being a little bit different, having a different opinion, and not, being part of the popular masses, for saying, no, you should have. That'll probably be a very unpopular opinion. And to be 100% honest, though, I think a lot of Juggalos, will eventually get over it, because we all got to get over it at some point, okay? We really do. And, quit putting emphasis on the whole brand loyalty or, the culture loyalty and all that, though, because I don't think, honestly, that it's 100% important. Because, like, when you grow up, things start to not, matter as much. I've learned that, though, quite frankly. I've learned that, though, and after a while, though, it's like, especially like whenever it comes to terms of forgiveness, you know what I mean? DC said it best, learn to forgive. Didn't hurt my feelings, so what do I have to forget? But I do feel that, a lot of Juggalos out there, are going to take forever, or take however long they feel they need to forget, or to forgive and not forget. and eventually, we'll come around to it. Me personally, though, a lot of it's been a big turnoff to me because, the whole, when people start talking about the beef and all that, though, it gets exhausting because, when you try to be, constructively objective or constructively supportive, even then, juggalos will find a good way to fuck it up, because of, oh, this and that, twisted this, you should have been there, and just stay on that topic. Now, to a point, I agree, but at the same time, I disagree though, because it's like I said, I'm looking at it, from a grown-up standpoint, not a juggalo standpoint at this point. I know, it feels kind of oxymoronic though, but I mean, that's just the way I've always looked at it though. To me, honestly, it really doesn't affect me as other juggalos, as I feel that other juggalos feel I should feel about it. I think that's the best way to say it. But yeah, that's just, I just wanted to get my thoughts on it though. I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction in the juggalo world. I survived the Great Divide, as you can tell. Other people will sit there and call me a bitch for saying that because, oh no, I don't agree with it. No, it ain't a popularity contest. All right, nothing is ever going to change me from, not being supportive of both sides, because the moment you make me choose a side is the moment where loyalty is divided. I was like, come on, man. I don't give a fuck if you have an M&E tattoo or a Hatchetman tattoo. I got a Lotus tattoo and a Hatchetman tattoo on each one of my arms, okay? And I say that my Lotus tattoo means loyalty and Hatchetman means family, because that's where it spawned off from, quite frankly. And even though it spawns off, from Strange, who are like, whether it be Strange music or whether it be M&E or whatever the fuck, if you got love, that's all that matters. Whenever I first got introduced to the subculture at a very young age, I didn't understand it very much. And I really started understanding it a lot more at the age of 15 and 16, because to me, though, at first it was just music. And then as I got older, it was like, it's about the love, And to me, that's where it all stems from. The love. Not about just the music itself. Not about brand loyalty. Not about what they should have done and shouldn't have done. Look, family fights, okay? But if I see a motherfucker with an M&E tattoo, that's family right there. When I see a motherfucker with a Hatchman tattoo, that's family right there. If I see a metalhead out there, I fucking love metal, that's family right there. I see somebody with a Bullet Club t-shirt, hey, that's family right there, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where I'm going to be necessarily going with that, though, with the rest of this video, though, but me personally, though, it's like, I look at it, from a perspective from love. You know what I mean? Is it loyalty because of love? Absolutely. Is it loyalty because of what should have been done for the march? Sure. Maybe. I agree to disagree. But at the same time, though, there's so many other things, that stirred up, from their camps on a personal and a business level that should not have necessarily affected us all. But, like I said, agree to disagree. That's my take on it, though, honestly. I really don't know what else to say to it, though, but as I wait for my job to open up, I still got 10 minutes left. But I just wanted to jump on here and just get my, let everything kind of sink in, see how the community felt about it, though, see how the fam, just see, how all the fam, really wanted to react to it, though. What, fuck yous and what good jobs or what I forgive yous come through it, though. Whatever. That's just me. It's just whatever at that point, though. But you know what? It's really cool. Much love. Peace. God bless. Be good to each other. Much motherfucking wicked clown love. Whoop whoop and too sweet. Sorry, I got my I got my Raycons on right now. And peace.